My project design and evaluation proposal is to investigate the underrepresentation of women in IT workforce, the current status, and future recommendation. My name is Naomi Ettori. Welcome to my presentation. This research will be carried out by Women in Computing Wisconsin. Women in Computing Wisconsin is a consultancy firm that has been formed for the sake of this research. Let's go ahead and look at the background of information. Women in Computing Wisconsin consultancy business goal number one is to investigate through research the representation of women in IT workforce and also use this research in ways that can attract, develop, and retain diverse technology opportunities to women around Northeast Wisconsin. The women in Wisconsin they will also use this research feedback to educate employers on how to attract and retain IT women workforce and support them in various ways, such as providing career guidance, training, and mentorship, and also provide the outreach programs to young girls with the goals of improving the representation of women in IT workforce. Let's go ahead and look at the business objective. Women in Computing Wisconsin's strategic goal is to investigate the shortage of women representation in computing and IT careers and provide tools and information for female students, influencers, employers, and develop a market strategy and communication to drive the awareness of women in IT careers. The project also aimed to improve and increase the representation of women in computing and IT careers by motivating young girls and women to pursue a career in technology. The research project will also identify the characteristics that contribute to women underrepresentation issues in information technology, define research issues associated with underrepresentation of women, and identify specific research that can be used for recommendation. Basically, those are the business objectives. Okay, next, let's look at the current situation and problem. Since 1986, and the IT field ended up being dominated by men. When you look at the database engineers, software engineers, cybersecurity specialists, IT directors, IT managers, UX, UX designers, etc., women have been fighting their way up through the ranks to occupy position next to their male counterparts and have their presence felt. However, until today, women are still very much underrepresented in numerous IT workforce. Female representation in IT is important, not just for young women, but for the society as a whole. There's a research which was carried out by American Bureau of Statistics, which projected computer science research jobs will grow by 19% by 2026. Betty Atkins reported that the figure for women leading for Fortune 500 companies grew from 6.4% in 2017 from 2.6% in the previous years. In order for us to see a change in how women are viewed, we need to see them more represented in computer and IT related careers. To fully have female representation in computer science and IT, it must include women of colors and minorities as well. This capstone research project will carry out comprehensive literature review on current representation of women in IT and give future recommendation. The critical assumptions and constraints. The proposed research will act as a good reference point to convince all relevant stakeholders the need to put more resources to invest in improving the IT careers in women. The project management officer will lead the effort, and the project team will include and must include participants from several companies, especially women in technology. The proposed research project will run on the existing hardware and software with minimal technical support. It must be easily accessible by consultants and all relevant stakeholders and be secure from unauthorized users. Next, let's look at the analysis of option and recommendation. One of the recommendations is to do nothing. The women representation in computing is a non-issue. The IT industry will continue to operate without the need of women. Secondly, purchase the access of specialized software tool to support women in computing that comes with very little in-house change. And thirdly, to do a comprehensive investigation to understand the underrepresentation of women in computing and IT workforce and come up with a recommendation to improve the representation of women in information technology and workforce. Based on the discussion with the stakeholders, we believe that option 3 is the best option for us. Let's look at the preliminary project requirement for this proposed project. The main feature for the proposed project will carry out the investigation using the following topics as shown on the screen. Number one is early childhood and prior to college admission. And this basically means this topic will investigate the culture of girl-child socialization and upbringing, the effects of things like peer pressure, media representation of girl-child, family influence, church institution influence, education system influence, and role model. Secondly, we look at the higher education and graduate school, and this topic will basically investigate the enrollment requirements of computer science, IT, and any other IT-related courses, and also how the classroom culture and its impact on attracting and retaining girls or female gender in classroom. And third, we're going to look at the industry or workplaces. This topic will investigate the factors failing employees to attract women in IT workforce, factors affecting women in interest in entering the IT workforce. What are the efforts that employees are currently making or thinking of improving to attract and retain women in workforce? What are the other various roles, positions that most women hold in IT workforce? And also we're going to look at the career path, and this simply means to investigate various career path opportunities, training, education, and mentorship programs, and also look at the academic parts, and this basically means just to investigate the IT or computer science major parts, and also the IT and CS pedagogies. And next we'll look at the professional organization just to see to investigate how this professional organization have impact on the supporting women in computing and training and education and providing role models. And we're going to look at also the analysis. We're going to do the analysis of the survey and participants regarding the above topics. And we'll look at the findings and recommendation and conclusion. The survey will be distributed through Facebook group, especially the one that is known as Tech Ladies. And this is actually a closed group with 31K members residing all over the world. But the majority of these members are located in the United States, and almost, I would say like 99.9% all work in the various IT field. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the budget. Our budget estimate is around $2,070. We have the hardware equipment, which goes for around $1,000. We have internet service for $140. Surveys for $10 each of a gift card. We are looking at about 50 participants, which is around 500. Software, travels, and communication, mainly the phone communication, which will be about $80. Next, we look at our schedule and estimate. This project will be completed in the next 8 weeks. And we assume that the output of the project and the tool will be used for the next 2 years or so. Looking at on the screen, we have our schedule, which runs by weeks, and the tasks are displayed. Weeks are on the left side, and the tasks are displayed on the right side. And it's stipulated categorically from the first week, which is around October 7th, up to the last week, which is around November 25th, where we'll be finalizing our project. We'll be doing our final project work and termination. Yeah, basically that. So we'll have from October 7th to November 25th. Next, we look at the potential risk. This project has several risks, actually. One of the risks is the stakeholders, whether the stakeholders will remain committed to support this idea and the objective of this project. And the second one is whether the participants, is a risk of participants willing to participate in taking surveys, in undertaking surveys of this project so that we can get feedback and report. And the other one is the risk of implementing security and privacy of data. for our participants and our documents and our data, and also the risk of working on a fixed schedule, which is 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Therefore, implementing a project within a fixed time frame can be very tricky. We have also technology risk, platform and software, and all that, and also whether investing all our time and resources will eventually yield um, or give us project benefits. References, as shown on the screen, are two main references, and that marks the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.